Hello everyone, I have 5 tips to help you overcome Artblock. So, listen up and enjoy while I do some animation. I guess the animation is more just like background footage. The main thing is talking about how to overcome Artblock. So number 1, the first thing I would recommend is to make a group of OCs that complement each other. Because in no world is there such thing as an individual person. And what I mean by that is that no person really exists on their own in a vacuum, in the void. Like everyone exists in relation to other people. So whether that be friends or family or enemies, like everyone interacts with other people. That's what I'm trying to say. I mean, there are some people who are going to be like kind of individualistic, like maybe that they like to take walks on their own, or maybe they live on their own. But even then, they're going to interact and deal with people as well. So this group of characters, it could be like 2 or 3 or even many people. There's one video I actually watched a short while ago, and this actually gave me the inspiration for making this video, where they were talking about the Cups animatic. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but it's very emotional. I strongly recommend that you give it a watch. It's a story about 2 siblings, a brother and a sister, who have very different but also complementary personalities. So the brother, he's more studious and reserved. He tends to keep to himself. He tends to stay out of trouble. While the sister is more outgoing and energetic. Like, she's a very people person. So the animatic introduces and showcases the dynamics between these 2 diametrically opposite personalities. And even though they are very different people in their own ways, they still deeply care for each other. The story is also based off of a Hawaiian culture background, which is a lot more family oriented, and that can also play a role in how the characters are written. So if you're doing world building, keep that in mind. Make sure to write the characters and the stories to fit whatever culture you're writing in. Another example is, of course, Deltarune, where there are the 3 main characters, Chris, Ralsei, and Susie. Their personalities are all very unique and they complement each other very well. So for example, Susie initially starts very rough and rude and socially inept. She was like the school bully. And then she meets Ralsei, who is a lot more calm, empathetic, and patient. He's a very kind fellow. And obviously because Susie was the bully and everyone wanted to stay away from her, but then Ralsei was he was going to give Susie that kindness that nobody else would have given her. And because of this influence, she becomes a lot more understanding, a lot more sociable. But then she also retains her toughness and assertiveness, and it gets redirected towards bad guys, towards enemies. That's another thing as well. People's fundamental personalities will usually stay the same. It won't change very much. For example, if there's a gentleman who is a criminal mastermind, he'll still present himself politely, he'll still follow etiquette. Meanwhile, an ex-gangster who helps people stay away from the gangs, keep them off the streets, all of that stuff, he's still going to speak very assertively, he's still going to keep it real, Here's an example which I came up with, and I'm just making stuff on the fly. So let's say there are 2 artist friends, very cliche. The pink one, she is called Tara. Her outfit's very feminine. She got a pink dress, a hat, skirt, and a star symbol. And the orange one, he is called Nena. He is more, more visibly masculine, but he's still refined, he still looks very artistic. You can see from his shirt, his apron, all that good stuff. And let's say Tara likes traditional paintings, and yeah, I'm saying that because she has that artistic hat. Meanwhile, Nena prefers to sculpt things with clay. I'm guessing he likes to do more physical things because he's wearing that apron, and aprons are more for physical crafts. I don't know, I'm just coming up with stuff. So let's say their backstory is they met at an arts and crafts fair where Tara was showing off his stall with his handcrafted oil lamps, and Tara was walking by and thought, that's so cool, and then they strike a conversation. This is more of a base idea. It can be refined over time. The first draft is never going to be the best, and you're always going to need to improve on it, but that's just how it works. Number 2, whether you want to start with the sketch or the backstory, that's up to you. So I guess having a sketch can allow you to interpret the character in whatever image you'd like. For example, with Tara and Naina, I originally drew them a while ago for a server poster, and just wanted to make some generic characters that represented like art. And my descriptions were just derived from what I'd think they'd look like. So yeah, those characters, they didn't really have any background information or anything. They were just almost like mascots, really. On the other hand, having the story first could allow you to construct what you'd expect the character to look like. It's like when you read a book and you read about the characters, you get an image in your mind as to how they would look. So similarly, starting with a text-only description, like talking about how they could look, what they like, what they dislike, what their species are, all of that kind of stuff, it kind of replicates that effect of reading about that character in a story. Number 3, getting inspiration for outfits. One thing I would really strongly recommend is that you play games where you can design the outfits. So, games like Sky, Children of the Light, or Stardew Valley, or even designing your own Minecraft skin. It's I know a few people who do that. It's actually pretty fun to see what they come up with. If you don't have access to those games or you don't feel like playing them, you can always watch other people play them. That's also pretty fun. And Pinterest also has a lot of cool ideas, both for characters and outfits, so you can have a look at that too. Number 4, designing outfits. Make the outfit part of the personality, give them props and accessories, something that's special to them, something that means something to them, something that is a part of them. I saw this video a while ago where they were discussing using accessories for designing characters. It's pretty cool. You could give it a watch. If your character is, for example, like a gentleman spy who infiltrates places, you could give him like a fountain pen for signatures and for, appearing sophisticated. But then when he's on an espionage mission, it will double as a laser to cut through walls. The most original idea ever. But you can come up with something more interesting. Number 5, drawing poses. You can always start with your standard T-pose for building a ref sheet, and then you can work on specific poses. The first place I would go for ideas is Pinterest. There is no shortage of inspiration, but I'd be careful since it has been flooded with AI images recently. Like, I refuse to call that stuff AI art because calling it AI art is just an insult to art itself. Like, I guess even if you change the settings on Pinterest to reduce the amount of AI, it doesn't really do anything. So yeah, just be careful if you're using Pinterest, stay away from the AI stuff. You can also try making your own poses using like a physical mannequin or a 3D model. For some drawing softwares, they might have 3D model posing built in already. Or if it doesn't have that, you can use a web-based model and then paste it into a layer. You could even try drawing the scene first, adding the initial context, then letting the character react to the situation. Feels a little bit more natural. I mean, I guess it's up to you. These are just things that I'm just saying out of my mind. I guess the idea is that in real life, people are usually introduced to the context first and then they react to it. So I guess it's kind of like simulating that effect. Another thing I recommend is try making difficult poses, try drawing difficult poses and get out of your comfort zone, because this will improve your drawing skills a lot. It's like training your mental muscle. Like, if you go to the gym and carry the heavy weights, sure, it's going to be more painful at first, but you'll progress much faster than if you were to just carry the lighter weights. Yeah, sure, carrying the lighter weights will be relaxing, it's not going to be that painful, but you're not going to get much stronger. It's like that idea of no pain, no gain. So it's similar to how if you just draw easy poses, you won't get much better at drawing, You need to expand your horizons, you need to keep pushing yourself. And, at the end of the day, you need to have fun, because that's what characters are about. It's fun to see what people are thinking, what kind of ideas people have, what kind of worlds people want to come up with. I guess that's all I gotta say. If you have any feedback, if you have any ideas, do let me know.